Have we moved forward an inch from where we were this time last week?
I mean, a little bit. There have been some new announcements made this morning, specifically on the way that EU nationals currently in the UK will get their settled status, their right to reside. The Prime Minister's guaranteed that they'll be able to do that for free rather than paying any money. And she also ruled out any speculation that she might try to reopen the Good Friday Agreement, the peace deal in Northern Ireland. So I think that has moved us on. But overall on Brexit, no. I mean, the Prime Minister's critics are saying, where's the plan B? Where are the new ideas? Of course, we've been discussing Brexit non-stop in the UK for 3 years. Of course, there's no new ideas. And she's right to a degree. There is no plan B because there's only one deal that's been done with the EU, and that's her deal.
And if Parliament were to rule out no deal, she's also right in saying that that could potentially involve having to revoke the plan to leave the European Union at all.
Exactly. Well, so Parliament voted to trigger the exit mechanism to leave the European Union. And that takes you to a process at the end of 2 years where you're out, deal or not. So the best way to rule out no deal is to vote for a deal. Or the alternative is, as you're saying, to revoke Article 50, to cancel Brexit. And she's, of course, saying she doesn't want to do that.
Is there any a majority in Parliament for a second referendum? The people here in the background demanding that now people know what Brexit might look like. They want a whole rethink.
Well, a lot of people who've been demanding a second referendum are not just saying this now because we know what Brexit looks like. They've been saying this non-stop since the referendum. And I think if you actually look at the numbers within the Commons, within Parliament, there's not a majority in favour of a second referendum. And there's not necessarily even a majority in the country. And of course, even if there was a second referendum, which I think is very unlikely, it's not even clear the country would vote to stay in. We may well just make the same decision again.
We hear hardline Tories now grumbling today that even if they don't like her deal at all, it's better than not leaving the European Union at all. Do you think in the end, if she runs the clock down to the middle of February, she might end up bouncing people into accepting her deal because that's the only thing that a majority will support?
Well, I think that something in the middle is the most likely outcome, and it's going to be a version of her deal. I think, as you said, some hardline Tories, some of the ultra Eurosceptics are happy to leave without a deal. But I think that most people in Parliament would want to find a way to try and stop that. And I think that there might